So what about politics makes it expensive? I mean, you can explain this better because then you've started from Legon days, university days, and if you can confirm that generally politics is expensive, both in the university level and on the larger spectrum, is it that expensive? Or what makes it
But for
expensive?
it is, it's not a conversation many politicians love to have.
We have you politicians have not made it look so.
Yeah, so people are afraid to talk about it because when they do, then people are asking them, how then are you raising the resources to do it? Why are you still running for the office if you are complaining that it is expensive? And what is in it for you? Where are you getting the money from and all of that? People are usually afraid to answer these questions. But I believe that we're supposed to have a very open and very transparent democracy. Candidates should be able to declare their sources of raising funds. Candidates should be able to explain or give you an idea how much they spend in an election. Candidates should be able to give you an idea what they spend on. That's what happened in the advanced democracies. And so I am not afraid to speak about it. But politics is very, very expensive. And it is a danger that we ought to do something about. Because if we don't arrest the situation, we are gradually getting to a stage where we are leaving democracy to the highest bidder, where the one with the deepest of pockets is the one that will climb to political leadership. And that is dangerous because leadership and financial resourcefulness may share some things in common, but it must not be a determinant of who becomes a leader. We should give people the opportunity to perform based on merits, not based on the one who can raise the most amount or spend the most amount. And so it is a very expensive venture. What makes it expensive, you asked? Aside your own rounds, driving around, campaigning, posters, banners all over the place. So in my constituency, for example, I'm expected to print no less than 20,000 posters before the exercise is over.
Does that make you any popular?
You need to sell yourself to the electorate.
Is it the message or the posters?
So the message counts, but the posters are symbols that represents you, because whether we like it or not, my experience is that there's still a lot of people at that level who may listen to your message, who may even like you, but if you don't keep reminding them of who you are, and if you don't have enough representation in terms of your party flags and posters, banners around, they may get to the polls and go and vote for somebody else.
Interesting.
Because even with all the education that we embark on, look at the number of rejected ballots or spoiled ballots that we record in our elections. It tells you that we still have challenges at that level. And for a first timer, it is important to print all these banners and posters for people to know that you are the candidate. Because some know that yes, you are representing the NDC, but the person they've been voting for in the past, they may not know. And that the person is no more than one on the ticket. So they walk to the poll. I recall in 2016, we got to a community somewhere in the eastern region, and then a woman told us that in 2012, she went to the polls to vote for Rawlings, and she didn't see Rawlings. She didn't see her junior Jesus. And so
in this 2016, or there's another
in the
2016
campaign, we met somebody who didn't vote in 2012 because, according to her, she went looking for J.J. Rawlings. And I mean, it may sound unbelievable.
To be fair, let's stay on that a bit, and we'll go back to how you but let's stay just on that a bit. To be fair, would it have been just nostalgic moments for this person living in the past, or this is a personality that marketed himself very well, so much that whatever any other candidate has been saying, they're not listening? where do we bridge it? What do you think may have
I
happened?
think it's the voter education. It's voter education. We assume that all our voters have access to traditional media like the televisions and the radios, but that is not the case. There are so many communities that are not connected to the national grid. There are so many communities where politicians are unable to carry the message to the grounds. Sometimes you get there and the people are not even available. They may have gone to their farms or what have you. There are still people who basically are not aware of happenings around the political and even the social circles. And so it is difficult for you to just assume that everybody will know that you are the candidate. You ought to take the message to them.
Okay.
Go to them. They will still demand party T-shirts. There are still people that wear President Rawlings's 1996 and 92 T-shirts around. Like once in a while, you spot people wear some of those T-shirts. Not too long ago, I saw someone in President Kufuor's 2000 campaign T-shirts.
How does that make you feel as a politician?
Well, it sends mixed feelings that even many years after you were gone, there are still people that will remember you. And that's why it's important to serve well so that when you leave, you can still go back to the communities with pride, because you know within yourself that you gave it your all. And that is why some of us are so passionate about what we are doing. And I think that politicians need to recognize that the voter is becoming more and more discerning. The factors that influence election in the past are no more the same factors that are influencing voters. In the past, when you go to some parts of Ghana, whether you put a candidate who never gets to the ground to campaign on the NDC ticket, just because of the umbrella, people were ready to vote for them. Same for the NPP. But those things are shifting now. So there are some seats that were traditionally NDC seats that the NPP snatched. There were some seats that the NDC snatched from the NPP that in the past, these things were not possible. For example, Ayenswano.
Yes,
When
yes.
you go to Ayenswano, traditional, typical NPP seats, but the NDC was able to snatch it from the NPP in 2020. Hohwe is another.
Why are we starting from 2020? Why not 2016 when the NDC lost about 49? How many?
Oh yes, so we have many of such.
So it would have
seats.
been the same situation
Yes, so
for
same situation. In the year 2008 as well, NDC won some seats
Yes,
or claimed
yes.
some seats from the NPP that people never believed that was possible. And so the demographics is changing, and the dynamics have become so complex that there's no room for complacency.